Hello and welcome, my name is Ollie Wilson and today you are watching the Knight Pairs Find That YouTube series, a series that breaks down tactical positions into understandable concepts to help us to reevaluate how we think when approaching the game of chess. Enjoy. Here is today's Find That position. It is black to move, and as always you have 10 seconds, starting now. Did you get it? Let's see. So the first thing to notice is that this queen and this bishop are lining up, putting a lot of pressure on white's king's position, essentially attacking the pawn, potentially x-raying to the queen, and as we'll see, that is very, very significant. And meanwhile, white's pieces are pretty sad. The rook's on f1, staring at the pawn very defensively. The knight isn't even doing a defensive task, it's just sitting in the corner. It's very far from any defensive task over here, and it's even further from any potential attack which would aid white queen attacking g7. So in terms of white's capacity to defend an attack, a little bit limited because of a poorly placed piece and a not so active piece. And for that reason, with black to move, well done if you found this, it is rook takes h3. As we see from this cacophony of arrows here, well, the queen on a8 pins the queen on g2 to the king on h1, meaning this queen cannot move, it cannot capture the rook, and it cannot play to h2. And meanwhile, the white king is forced to go to g1, which then steps into this further pin on f2, which is very important because, of course, we have won a pawn. However, we want a bit more. And because of this pin, noticeably, all of white's pieces are unable to do anything. Rook to g3 is the follow-up, winning the queen because this pawn cannot capture due to the pin. If white captures, then of course we take the queen with this defending pawn on h4, and then as we see here, f2 is then terminally weak, and we're a queen up, which is always good. So everything is collapsing, and of course, if they do nothing, they cannot stop. Queen takes g2 checkmate. For that reason, it is entirely game over. At best, white can sacrifice the queen and reach this position, whereafter perhaps knight to d2, pawn takes f2, king can move. We are queen up, we can bring our queen in with a bit of a fork here, and well, you almost don't need to think in this position. You are queen up, you can move your pieces in, and almost by force with a pawn so far up the board and such active pieces that still persist, we win the game from here. And this all came about simply from poorly placed pieces on b1 and f1, and very active pieces that essentially meant that these three pieces on f2, g2 and h3 are either pinned or completely undefended as a result of a couple of pins, and rook takes h3 slices through, unlocking with a discovered attack the queen on a8 and winning the game, forcing king g1, at which point we of course win the queen with rook to g3, and from there we win the game. Hope you enjoyed that. Stay tuned for more.